The psychology of living with a binge eating disorder is pretty complicated. Most people eat when they're hungry and they eat for fuel. But people who binge eat, it's nothing to do with hunger or fuel in the body. In fact, it's akin to using drugs. When you eat, you get some kind of rush, you feel good in the moment, and somehow the very basis, simplest level of your humanity is satisfied. But as soon as you've finished eating, you're just racked with guilt, and you just wish that you'd made wiser decisions. And you tell yourself, no, you'll never do it again. But you do. And sometimes in life, you can beat this condition, or you can think that you've beaten it. But the little fat person who lives within you, no, he, in my case he is never satisfied. He will keep whispering in your ear when you're having good, healthy times, when you think you're in recovery, he's still whispering. And that voice gets a little bit louder, and when you're under stress, or times are difficult, or there's some sort of trauma affects your life, that's when his voice gets louder, and it's very difficult to resist. And that's when you relapse. And at first it might just be a one-off, but you know, once you're on that slippery slope, the only way is down. So I know I'm fighting a lifelong battle, and I've had a lot of successes over the last 3 years, and I have lost a considerable amount of weight, and I'm in a much better place than I was. But in more recent times, I have had a bit of a backslide. I've been under stress. There's been things going on, not in my domestic life, nothing to do with family or anything like that. There's been things going on in my life which I'm not happy about, and that has led to me making some mistakes, and I've regained a little bit of weight. But I've got to process that, and I've got to be rational about it. I can't just fall back into the old, irrational, binge eating ways. It just isn't worth undoing all the blood, sweat and tears that I've shed in order to try to overcome the morbid obesity with which I've lived for virtually all my adult life. And I still live with. I'm just not as morbidly obese as I was. So I know it's one day at a time. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's another day where I must be conscious at all times of making good, sensible decisions. And I'll continue to strive to make wise choices. Firstly for myself, because I must have self-respect and that personal dignity that drives me on to make these good, wise decisions. But also for those people who love me, for my wife, for my children who depend on me. I cannot allow myself to get this wrong. Not now, I've come too far. Support me, follow me on Bye Bye Fat Man, and let's see if you can help me to conquer this condition which will continue to plague me, but hopefully I can learn to control.